Here's the thing, you guys. I didn't have to do anything to make any of that happen, and yet it happened. And you can do the same thing with whatever it is that you desire. My newest client, the one from Dublin, he said, this stuff is easier said than done. And I told him, no, it's easier done than said. You just have to learn how to do it. Your life is unfolding to the degree that you line up with the pure positive energy that you are. And when you line up with it, everything you want comes without any effort on your part. Welcome to Worthiness Wednesday. I'm Perry Gruber, the Enlightenment Guy. For over a decade, I've helped people master their mindsets so they can create lives they love and get results without the burnout or the hustle. And today, I want to talk about something that's happened over the last few months in my personal life. Typically, what I do in this series is I talk about client experiences, but this time I want to talk about something that's happened in my personal life. It has to do with my client load and how effortlessly the universe created replacement clients for clients who had left the practice. Now, a little background real quickly. In almost every video I create on this YouTube channel, I talk about how my chair feels a little higher than it should be. So there we go, drop it down a bit. In almost every video I create on this channel, I talk about how when you line up with what you are, the pure positive energy that you are, which is a subset of the pure positive energy of all that is, when you line up with that, then everything that you want happens without you having to do anything to make that happen. If there's anything you have to do to make it happen, it's lining up with that pure positive energy that you are, and then following the impulses that you receive from all that is, which is constantly guiding you to everything that you want. And if you follow that guidance, you will be the final cooperative component, the final element of the fulfillment of your manifestation, that manifestation unfolding directly in front of you. Now, that background is important to understand what I'm going to be talking about in this episode, because it's really profound. And if you think after I tell you this story that this is a coincidence, I will be extremely surprised, because the unfolding of what I'm about to tell you happened with such ease and grace that it just confirms what I say in almost every video I create on this channel, which again is that everything you want can come to you without you having to do anything to make it happen, because you're at the center of the universe. And the universe wants to give you everything that you want, because giving you everything that you want is on the path to you becoming more of all that you are. So here's what happened. Back in late spring, one of my clients had decided that he had manifested everything he wanted and was ready to move on from the practice. I've done a number of Worthiness Wednesdays about his experiences and the manifestations he's created, particularly around a particular woman he manifested into his life. So I knew he was going to be leaving, and that was going to have an impact on the income, my personal income from my client practice. And then in the next month, another long-term client, someone who I had promoted to master level, had decided that he wanted to see me once every 2 weeks instead of every week, like most clients see me. And so there was going to be a pretty big drop in my income as a result of those two clients. And then a third client, whose sessions were being paid by her son, had gotten to the point in her empowerment through the positively focused practice where she wanted to have her son stop paying for her sessions while she focused on manifesting an occupation, a job that would allow her to pay for the sessions herself. So there was a significant amount of income that I was going to lose from having 2 of these 3 clients totally disappear from my client role, and then the third one going from once a week sessions to once every other week sessions. Now, as this was unfolding, because of what I know, and because of how effective what I know is, rather than focusing on the fact that these 3 clients, or the revenue represented by these 3 clients, was going to drop significantly, I instead knew that I am at the center of the universe, and that the universe is always providing me with everything I want without me having to do anything to get it. The only thing that I had to do was let go of knowing when it was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And that's the case with every manifestation. If you're focused on the when it's going to happen, you're going to feel impatience. And that impatience is telling you that the when is not your job. If you're focusing on the how, you're going to experience a lack of awareness of how it can happen, because the universe knows better how something can happen in your life experience than you ever could. And so you're going to feel some negative emotion also, which is telling you that the how is not your job. And so since I knew this, when I got word, they didn't all make the decision at once. It all happened over 2 or 3 months. But when I got word that these clients were leaving, rather than focusing on the fact that they were leaving and what that revenue impact represented, I instead focused in the probable future reality where that revenue had been totally replenished. And every day, for 30 days, it wasn't specifically 30 days, but it was about a month, I focused on knowing that that revenue was already replaced. And in doing that, I was lining up with the pure positive energy of all that is. Because in all that is, everything is happening all at once. And so, lining up with that, I knew that it was going to unfold at some point. I just didn't know when, and I couldn't know when because the when is not up to me. And I also couldn't know how because the how is not up to me. So instead, I just stayed in the pure positive awareness that everything always works out, and that I knew that eventually, 3 new clients would manifest. Now, this was in late spring when all of this unfolded. In the early summer, in the beginning of June, someone had reached out to me on this YouTube channel and was talking about how they had wanted a particular job. They called it their dream job. And this is so good. They wrote me a comment on the YouTube channel, and I responded to them in great detail, which I think inspired them to set up a one-on-one with me, a free one-on-one. By the way, if you want to have a free one-on-one with me, you can look in the description of this video or the description of the channel, and there's a link there where you can schedule a free one-on-one to see what it's like to be a client. So this person came to this free one-on-one, and by the end of it, I could tell that she was eager to work with me. She thought my prices were extremely low, especially compared to what she was paying another coach for a different kind of service. But she didn't have the money at the time because she was unemployed. So this is the thing about manifestation. This is so good. She did not become a client, but she said she was going to become a client. And that I knew was a positive indicator that the universe was bringing me the replacement clients that were going to replace the 3 that had left. Now, most people in this you create your reality business, most people who believe in manifestation, when something like that happens, when a person that seems like they're going to be a client shows up, but then they decide not to become a client, when a manifestation like that occurs, most people will go down in the dumps. They'll go negative because they're putting too much focus on that specific unfolding, thinking that that's the full-blown manifestation. When usually what's happening when something like that happens is that's the universe offering contrast that, if you use it correctly, will cause you to double down on your desire, which is what I did. When this person said she was going to become a client after she got her bridging job, I didn't get down about it. I knew that some point in the future she may become a client, but I wasn't focusing on her as the manifestation I was focused on. I was focused more generally on knowing that the 3 clients who had left would be replaced by 3 new clients. So I don't know what she's doing right now. I presume she's working on getting the bridging job I had encouraged her to get, as she lines up more with the dream job that she wants and her desire to become a client. After, it was about 12 days after having the free one-on-one with her, I got another, this is so good, I got another call, another schedule for a free one-on-one. This was a transgender person from the East Coast. She had sent me a message saying she had been on 8 different dating websites all at the same time and was having terrible luck manifesting for herself a partner. She scheduled her one-on-one, and when we talked in the one-on-one, the free one-on-one, I knew immediately that this person was tapped into some of what I know about how things manifest. She spoke the language. She was clear that she had produced evidence in her life before that this manifestation business worked, but for some reason on this particular subject, she said she was stuck, and so she wanted my services. After we talked in the free one-on-one, she immediately became a client. Now, that's one of 3 that was replaced. This is so good. This is so good. Not more than a week later, I had another person schedule a one-on-one, a free one-on-one. This person was coming from Belfast in Ireland. Not going to go into a lot of details about why he was reaching out to me because they're really personal to him. But suffice it to say that he had done a lot of manifestational work in his life and wanted to take his manifestational work to the next level around a specific problem he was having in his personal life. After the free one-on-one, he immediately became a client. So that's 2 of the 3 clients that were replaced. Now, don't forget, there's that other person who's getting the bridging job who may or may not come back. So I start seeing these 2 clients. Both of them, the trans woman is in her 3rd session, and I just had the first full-blown paid session with the guy from Belfast this week. This week, I got an email. This is so good. I got an email from the client who said that he had gotten all that he needed and wasn't going to see me anymore. He writes to me and he says, I'm going to put the email up on the screen. Or I think it might have been a text. I think it was a text message. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's really funny because, as you can see in the text message, he speaks as though he has a permanent place on my schedule, but he doesn't because he's no longer a client. And so I told him, he said he wanted to see me this week on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. He said he wanted to see me this week on Tuesday at our regularly scheduled time, or I think he said the standard time, I think he said in the text message. And I wrote back to him and told him, look, dude, I don't have you on my calendar anymore, so there is no scheduled time anymore, or no standard time or set time. You'll have to wait till next week if you want to schedule something. And he said yes. So the person who I thought was not going to see me again now wants to see me again. And then, this is so good, 2 clients who are partners had a kerfluffle in their relationship. And because of that, one of them needed to have an emergency session. Now, sometimes I charge for emergency sessions. I need to get more consistent about this. Sometimes I charge for emergency sessions, but oftentimes I'll just give them for free because I really want the client to get the benefit of the soothing I can provide by coaching them through the manifestational process and whatever's happening in their life right now that they're negative about. helping them see that what they're negative about is actually a positive thing. So I typically don't charge them for an extra session, because the satisfaction I get from seeing them go from this really negative interpretation of what's happening in their life to an empowered state in their life around what's happening in their life is satisfaction enough. So after I had this emergency session yesterday, the client said, I'm gonna pay you for your time tonight. And I said, you don't have to do so. And he said, but I want to do so. And I said, okay. So I ride my bike home. I was out at the track doing some fartlek exercises. I came back to my home and checked my phone, and he had paid me twice the amount that I charge for a session. That payment was essentially half of a monthly payment, and made up the difference from the client who said he wanted to see for this month, made up the difference from the client who said he wanted to only see me once every 2 weeks. So for this month, essentially, I'm having the same income from that client who wants to see me every other week as though he's seeing me every week. So none of this happened with me having to do anything to make it happen. What's really interesting is, this is so good. I know I keep saying that, but it's so good. When all three of these clients had made their decisions to leave or reduce their frequency, I went to lunch with a real good friend of mine named Mark. And he asked me what was up, and I told him what was happening with these clients. And he said, what are you going to do to replace that income? And I told him, I'm not going to do anything to replace that income, because the universe is going to do it. And he kind of gave me this scoff, because he doesn't know what I know. Fast forward 2.5 months, and the income that I had lost has been completely replaced in this really magical way. Here's the thing, you guys. I didn't have to do anything to make any of that happen, and yet it happened. And you can do the same thing with whatever it is that you desire. My newest client, the one from Dublin, he said, this stuff is easier said than done. And I told him, no, it's easier done than said. You just have to learn how to do it. So good. Your life is unfolding to the degree that you line up with the pure positive energy that you are. And when you line up with it, everything you want comes without any effort on your part, just like these 3 replacement clients, actually 2 replacement clients and a return client and a potential client who is in the process of getting her bridging job. It happened in the same way that I say. It happened with no effort on my part. The same thing can happen for you with anything that you desire, whether it's an improved marriage, an improved spouse, a better job, a healed body. It does not matter. If it's physical, you can have it. But in order to have it, you have to line up with the spiritual. And that's what I talk with clients about how to do every week. You can get in on the fun, and it's a lot of fun. One of my clients, a second client, recently said, I love this shit. It's worthy of your love. Because when you see things happening that you want to happen without you having to make those things happen, it's hard not to love seeing that happen. Want to get in on the fun? As I said at the beginning of this video, I have links in the description of this video and in my YouTube channel where you can test drive becoming a client for free. But if you're ready to become a client, there's a link there too where you can schedule time on my calendar. It's so good. And I'm going to stop here. I'll see you in the next video.